Bueno, hola y bienvenidos. Estamos otro día más en Gothic 2. Nos quedamos aquí, que habíamos hablado con el Capitán Greg, el arisco Capitán Greg, y vamos a entrar otra vez, aunque ya habíamos entrado ilegalmente. Ahora entramos legalmente.
What is it?
You aren't getting.
Why not?
Looking the way you do, we got enough.
Bueno, le decimos que hemos venido a
I'm
traer
bringing some
hierbas.
herbs for Constantino, the alchemist.
Really? Then you won't mind. Looks good. All right, in you go.
Y vamos a coger aquí una monedica de oro que hay aquí debajo. Y ahora ya entramos en la ciudad.
Halt! I am Lothar, paladin of the king and humble servant of Innos, your lord. Our commander, Lord Hagen, has entrusted me with the task of explaining to all newcomers the new laws which apply to all inhabitants of the city.
Since people have started simply vanishing all over this town, everyone needs to watch out that they don't suffer the same fate.
I've heard of it.
The townspeople are simply
Ay,
disappearing.
It seems
explica.
to be more. It's most annoying that the militia have still not been able. Small wonder that the town. So don't provoke them when you're in town.
Don't say you didn't know that.
Where can...
If you're looking for a place to sleep, go to the paladins, the travel.
All right. Explain the rules of this...
First, it's a bad. The honorable paladin Lord Hagen resides. That is why I asked second and third. Any questions?
Qué pesado, joder.
What I heard.
How do I be...
Only those, but
I already thought as much.
Where...
you'll have to. If you were thinking of the scum of the city live there.
How do I get...
A ver si
Say, are you
termino ya
listening to
esto.
me? And you're not a citizen. The entire.
Where did you pick that up then?
How do I get accepted?
By express command of Lord Hagen.
I see.
If you want to know more,
So
speak.
why won't they listen to me? He doesn't see that. I can't help him.
Where...
Lord Andre can be found
As for my opinion.
I've got to go.
as long as you're in Corinus. The king's paladins watch.
I'm in enough trouble as it is.
Bueno, hablamos con todos,
You
con
must be
el
hungry and
vendedor.
Enough trouble as it is.
there's
Can you...
me? No, there are a few people in. Mateo, my boss, is one of them.
I knew that would be a problem.
Where can...
You're stand
I'd have
Vamos a hablar
merchants and
con
you should
Mateo,
try to
pues.
get it. Since I started,
I'm not touching.
I need some money.
I've heard that Bosper has trouble with his suppliers.
I'm not telling
His
you.
shop is right over. They say he pays pretty well.
I hardly know.
What do you...
At the moment, the damned land.
He never would have thought of that himself.
Normally, but not.
I'm in enough
I heard them and their leaders. These are terrible.
Do you really believe that?
Show me your wares.
I can't believe that.
Compramos provisiones.
Is it really true? I knew that would be a problem. He never would have thought of that himself. I don't believe this is going to change.
Compramos provisiones y le
I
vendemos
agree with you completely.
a Rupert.
Where did you pick that up then? Will it ever change? That's the first I've heard of it.
Qué pesados son los tíos del
Nobody
fondo.
learn anything from me.
Pero pesados.
Don't say you didn't know that. It's not what I heard.
Bueno, vamos a hablar con todos los maestros artesanos. Vamos a guardar.
I wouldn't be so sure.
En este juego hay que guardar, siempre guardar. A ver si te puedes joder a la primera. Y ahí está. Bien, ya que hemos comprobado que está guardado,
I agree with you completely.
hablamos con el cazador.
Welcome to my shop, stranger.
Bosper.
I am Bosper. I craft bows and trade in furs. What brings you to Corinus?
I need to get into the upper quarter.
Where the
Trabajo.
paladins are? Forget it. You need to be a respected citizen here, or at least hold a decent job. As a stranger, you stand no chance of getting in.
I'm looking for work.
Busco
I
trabajo.
could use a new apprentice. The last one just gave up his job 2 days ago. Do you know anything about hunting then?
Well,
I could teach you how to skin animals. I'll pay you well for every skin you bring me.
why did your apprentice give up his job?
All he said was that it had become too dangerous out there. If you're really interested, then you can ask him yourself. His name is Bartok. He's probably hanging out near Corrigan's Tavern. Go through the underpass from the smithy, then you're headed straight for it.
Bueno,
What if I want to sign on with one of the other
nada más que
masters?
terminemos de hablar con
Balderdash. Harrod and
Bosper,
Mateo already have apprentices.
hay
Constantino
que
the alchemist is a
hablar
loner.
con los demás
He hasn't taken an apprentice in years. And as
y
for Thorben, everyone knows he's dead broke.
seguir,
He
seguir
probably
y
couldn't
seguir,
even pay it.
porque este es el capítulo más
I, on the
aburrido.
other hand, am
Me lo
in
quería
urgent
saltar,
need of an
pero
apprentice, and I pay well
como es
too.
un walkthrough también,
But no matter
pues
where you want to sign on,
os lo
you
hago.
need the approval of all
Es el más
other
aburrido de
masters from the
todos.
lower part of
No hay
town.
pelea ni nada. Solo bla 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 bla. Solo habla.
Will I get you?
All right, you shall have my approval, but on one condition. Work for me, at least for a short time. That way, you can find out for yourself whether you like me. And who knows? Maybe you'll end up liking it, and you'll stay with me. If you're good enough to sign on with me, you're also good enough for all others here.
Venga.
I will teach you
Pesado,
how to
queremos
skin an
pesado.
animal, and you will bring me, let's say, half a dozen wolf skins. Then I'll know that you have learned your trade. If it doesn't take you forever, and if the skins are in acceptable condition, I will take you on if you like. Or, you can start with one of the other masters, if that's what you really want.
Venga, enséñame, joder. Hablamos con Mateo.
What can I do for you?
What do you sell?
I can offer you everything you need to survive in the wild. Weapons, torches, provisions, even armor. I still have a special piece in stock. Double hardened armor of snapper leather. Still unused. Interested?
What do you know?
Since these bastards have come to the city, I've had... The last time I was headed for the upper end of town...
And?
Of course they let me in. I had my shop in the city when... And yesterday, the bastards came and confiscated half of my goods.
The paladin...
Everything I had stored, they simply... If I'm lucky... What?
I've got an important...
Well, well. Have you tried getting past...
I don't see why I should even try.
You're probably right. I don't know how important your message is, and it's none of my business. But even if you told them, because they have...
So,
It seems to be really... The question is...
what are you getting at?
I can help you, after all, but it'll cost you.
What are
¿Qué
you
quieres?
asking for your help?
100 gold pieces.
That's a whole damn lot.
Take it easy. It isn't your gold I have in mind.
But
In principle, it's my gold. Gritta, the carpenter's niece, hasn't paid what she owes me in ages. But the little brat is constantly running around in new clothes. That means she has the money. I'd like to beat it out of her. But Master Thorben, the carpenter, is also a very influential man. Get me the money and I'll help you.
where can I find this Gritta?
Like I said, she's the carpenter's niece.
How exactly can you help me?
Quite simple. I'll use my influence to see. As such, you'll practically...
Bien.
Where could I...
Basically,
Bueno.
that would be one of them is bound, but it's
Why don't...
I would. I just recently took on.
Is...
Perhaps. You just have to convince them. But if more than one of them is against you, you don't stand a chance. So behave yourself.
Os estoy dejando leer los diálogos para que sepáis qué es lo que hablan. Como os he dicho, este es el capítulo más aburrido porque no va a haber lucha. Estás en la ciudad y te tienes que dar a conocer. Tienes que hablar con los 4 maestros que voy a vender unas cosas antes de que se me olvide. Bueno, cuando vendamos lo que cada uno le sobre y no valga para nada, pues ya vamos a hablar con el carpintero. A ver, vamos a hablar con este.
Hey, you're new in
primero.
Yes, and what about you?
I've come from the mainland, and now I'm hanging around here. I'm almost out of gold, so all I can do now is join the militia, I guess. But I don't want to do that. I won't be slaughtered by those orcs on the king's behalf.
What can you tell me about the militia?
One of the paladins has taken command. A certain Lord Andre. He's trying to mobilize half the city in case the orcs attack. But you need to be a citizen of the town in order to be admitted. As far as I know, if you're not a citizen, you can train anyway. But you won't be officially admitted.
Bien. Le preguntamos todo lo que se puede hacer. Pero otro día. Vamos a hablar con Thorben.
This is not a good time for travelers. Bandits everywhere, no work, and now the farmers have risen. What winds have blown you here?
I'm looking for work.
Do you know anything about carpentry?
The only thing I can make out of wood is
No.
a fire.
And what about locks?
Well...
I'm sorry, but I can't use you if you know nothing about my trade. And I have no money to pay for an apprentice.
What if...
All right, I shall give you my approval. But you had better get yourself the blessing of the gods first. Say, are you a man of faith?
Yes, a
Sí.
most humble servant, Master Thorben.
Then go to Vatras, the priest of Adanos, and have him give you his blessing. He will tell you where you can find a priest of Innos. You should get his blessing too. Once you have received the blessing of the gods, I shall vote for you.
Bueno,
So,
What good is I make my own locks? That way, I can at least be sure I haven't built my chest that sturdy for nothing. A poorly made lock is
decimos
easy
eso
to
que
break, and there are plenty of thieves
si nos-
about in Corinnes.
si después nos
especially
enseña a abrir
lately.
cerraduras y nos dice que sí sabe.
Well, all right.
Tiene ganzúas.
have you had an apprentice before?
Yes, and not too long ago.
And what happened?
His name is Elvrich. He's my nephew. I was quite pleased with him, actually, but one day he simply didn't show up for...
Where is Elvrich now?
How would I know? He kept hanging around that filthy brothel by the harbor. I wouldn't be surprised if he's still warming the bed of some whore down there.
How long has it been since you saw him?
I guess it must be about 2 weeks.
Have you reported that to the militia?
Of course I have. They were supposed to catch him and see to it that the lazy bones does his work, but I already regret that. He can do whatever he wants. Sooner or later he'll realize he'll get nowhere in Corinthus without a decent job.
Is that so?
Bueno.
What do you know about the Paladins?
Not
much. They arrived by ship 2 weeks ago from the mainland. Since then, they have withdrawn to the upper end of town. Nobody here really knows exactly why they have come. Many are afraid of an attack by the orcs. I suppose, however, that they are here to quell the farmers' rebellion.
Do you know anything about the peasants' rebellion?
Rumor has it that Onar, the landowner, has hired mercenaries to keep the king's troops from breathing down his neck. He was probably tired of having to throw his harvest along with his livestock at paladins and militia. All we notice of this in town is that the food prices keep rising. Onar's farm lies far to the east of here. We wouldn't know if there's any fighting going on there. And if you want to know more, ask the merchants in the marketplace. They get around the island more than I do.
I've come about Grita.
He venido por Grita.
What's your business with her? This isn't about money, is it?
She owes 100 gold pieces to the merchant Mateo.
Tell me this isn't true. Ever since that little piece of work moved in with me, I've had nothing but trouble. She's in debt with practically every single merchant in town. I had to borrow 200 gold pieces from Lamar, the moneylender, just to settle her debts. And now this. Grita should be in the house. Go ahead, ask her. But I tell you this, she doesn't have a single gold piece.
We shall see. Hey.
What do you want, stranger? If you've come to beg, I must disappoint you. I am a poor widow. My name is Grita. Ever since my husband died, I have been running the household for my uncle Thorabin.
Mateo sent me. You still owe him some gold.
He wants his money? What for? The goods he delivered were flawed, bad fabric and bad seams. And did you look at the colors?
Le vamos a pegar un par de hostias a esta mujer. La única pelea que va a haber aquí es esta.
He wouldn't have dared to do that.
Cut it out. Where's the gold?
But I don't have the gold. I'm only a poor widow.
Hostias, hostias. Adiós.
Fork over the dough.
You're nothing but a common thug. Go ahead, draw your weapon. Put away that.
Ya está. Lo siento si se me oye un poco. Eso es que estoy malo de la garganta. Pero como me gusta, lo hago igual. Así que os lo estoy aquí.
Here's your 100 gold pieces.
Le damos el dinero a Mateo.
Good.
Y
held up your part of the deal.
Y ya tenemos un maestro
Help me sign on as an apprentice with one
que
of the
nos da
masters.
su aprobación.
Don't worry. I'll
Y
keep
subimos
my
de
part
nivel,
of the
mira qué
bargain.
bien.
The other masters will only hear the best.
Bueno, hablamos con Bosper que nos enseñe a despellejar animales y terminamos. ¡Hala! Terminamos. Venga, hasta otra.